Listen, burnout can sneak up on any one of us. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to spot the signs and what to do immediately to avoid burnout in anything that you're doing. Welcome back to the channel. It's Dr. Angela Cudger with Legacy Holistic Health Institute. And in today's video, we're going to talk all about the signs of burnout for women over 40. Now, if you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. It's dedicated to the health, wellness, and spiritual journeys of women over 40. If you're not a woman or you're not over 40, you can still enjoy this information and possibly share it with someone who this fits. Now, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for all your likes, your shares, and your comments and subscriptions. And just know that December is still the month of gift giving. We have one more mindful prize to give out, and that's going to go out on New Year's Eve or be announced on New Year's Eve. Every time you like a video in the month of December, your name goes into a drawing. And every time you comment on a video, your name goes into a drawing. That drawing then allows us to give away gifts for the month of December. Now, this gift giving, I'll probably continue doing one prize a month in 2024. And I'll announce that via email and I'll announce that on the channel as well. All right, let's jump into the content really quickly. All right, so when we're talking about burnout, the first thing we want to do is make sure that we understand what burnout actually is, because burnout can sneak up on any one of us and we not even know that it's actually happening. So many women over 40 juggle so many things and they wear so many hats that the demands of career, family, personal life, all of these things, including personal well-being, can become really, really overwhelming. And we can almost operate, especially if you're a woman of color, we almost always operate in a space of overwhelm and in some ways dysfunction when it comes to juggling all of these things. So it is crucial for us to be able to recognize the signs of burnout. And today we're going to dive into those. So burnout is not just about feeling tired. I want us to get that straight. Burnout is actually a state of chronic physical and emotional exhaustion. One of the things that we teach at Legacy is what happens when the body is stressed. Stress happens whether or not we think we feel stressed or not. When a demand is placed on us and we immediately in our minds feel like that demand is more than we have the resources, energy, bandwidth, or capability to conquer, our body naturally goes into a stress response, the fight or flight response. And this is where the blood pressure goes up, the heart rate goes up. This is where the respiratory rate goes up, and we start to shunt blood towards our vital organs and away from towards our extremities and away from our vital organs, making sure that we have the ability to run, jump, or do whatever to rescue ourselves. I know this might sound crazy when you're thinking about something just being a deadline instead of a deadly animal that's after you, right? So we want to make sure that we understand that our body is going to physically respond even if we think that, oh, I can handle it, or we try to tell ourselves that we can, when deep down inside, we know it's over or it will overextend our bandwidth. And so we want to make sure that we recognize this burnout and stress response as a chronic state, right? And the other thing that we want to be aware of is that between the everyday stress and between burnout, they can have these long lasting effects on our health, which can make it very, very tough to try to combat against later on in life. So let's talk about some common signs of burnout. The first sign is going to be chronic fatigue. Now, this is feeling tired all the time, no matter if you're getting rest, if you're taking naps throughout the day, if you're going to bed at the same time, you somehow wake up feeling tired all the time. Now, I'm also going to add if you're also taking all of your vitamins and you're hydrating properly. I always tell people, if you feel tired throughout the day, drink some water first, because it could be a sign that you're chronically dehydrated. And if you drink water or put water into your system, it will allow you to perk up and give you the energy that you need. The second sign of burnout is going to be irritability and mood swings. I know you're probably like, Angela, I'm a woman. Of course, I'm going to have a little bit of these kinds of things. Well, as we grow a little bit more emotionally intelligent, our mood swings and our irritabilities and the things that make us, that get a rise out of us, should change, or these things should shift. And if they don't, and you still feel like there's this unexplained changes in your mood, you have this increased irritability, and you just have a short fuse with people, it's probably a sign that you're burned out or you're getting close to burnout. The other sign, the third sign that I want to talk about is decreased performance. This is where there's a noticeable decline in the quality of work and your ability to perform at different tasks that normally would be super simple and easy for you. It also includes things that might be new to you that you're normally all about giving your absolute best to, and now you're just not with the program anymore. It doesn't excite you anymore. So we want to make sure that we're looking for these signs of decreased performance in the work that we turn in and the things that we're part of and how we're showing up. The other thing that I want to add to this, and this kind of leads us into number 4, is how you show up. The way you dress, the way you look, the way you act, the way you feel. Is it consistent, right? Are you, I know that we all have our times where we're a little bit more relaxed in terms of things that we're doing, but if you're consistently wearing sweats when you know you should be in slacks and heels, or if you're consistently looking a certain way or showing up a certain way, you may be encountering signs of burnout. The other thing that leads to this is isolation. That's a part of this is isolation. Not feeling like you want to go around or be around the same people, isolating or withdrawing from social interaction altogether. We want to make sure that we're understanding that isolation is a sign of burnout and we're aware of it, whether it's you being a part of it or whether it's someone else that you're around that you're like, I haven't seen them in a long time, or I haven't heard from them in a long time. Check on them because they might be going through something that is similar to this. I will say too, some of these signs are also signs of depression as well. Not all of them, but some of these signs, like when if you feel like you don't have the motivation to do something, you're just not feeling it, it could be a sign that you need therapy and that there's depression present, right? Depression also happens with depressive moods or black moods or mood swings. These might be signs that you need a little bit more intervention than you're currently doing. The last sign that I want to talk about concerning physical symptoms is things like headache, digestive problems, unexplained physical ailments, constantly having a cold or flu like symptoms of unknown origin, when all you're doing is going to work and coming home, or when all you're doing is you're at home all the time. You're not, there's no way that you could pick up germs or different things like that. You want to be aware of these things and understand that the human is psychophysical. And when a person feels overwhelmed and burned out, the physical body will start to break down as well. So we want to make sure that we're aware of this. So now let's look at some unique factors that will contribute to burnout for women over 40. Because now that we know the signs, let's look at some things that we can look at that say, if I can catch this early enough, then it might be a way for me to ensure that I don't get burnt out. The first one I like to call role overload. That means balancing your career, your family, your personal responsibilities and well-being, and it can become overwhelming. What you want to make sure that you're doing during this time is learning a new sentence. That new sentence is no. The word no is a complete sentence. So if there are different roles that people want you to play and things that you need to do, you want to make sure that you're speaking up and asking for support so that you don't burn out. If you didn't already, check out my video on non-negotiables and how to set those. You want to make sure that you set non-negotiables or agreements with yourself, and then the different roles and different things that might come up can easily or seamlessly be part of your life. Hormonal changes are another reason for burnout. So menopause, perimenopause, and menopause can actually bring about physical and emotional changes. There are several ways to combat perimenopausal symptoms and menopausal symptoms to make sure that your physical body doesn't get ill or that you're always staying well, even while these symptoms are happening. We all know that we're going to age, right? But it's the quality of how we age that makes all the difference. So you want to make sure that you're doing what you have to for your own personal well-being to combat these symptoms or stop them altogether. The other thing that might come up is caregiving responsibilities. And this is where you're juggling the care of aging parents or children and significant stress. So you want to make sure that in the role of caregiving, that you as the caregiver are properly supported, that you are getting the resources and tools that are necessary to make sure that your loved one has the best support that they need and that you're in the best shape possible that so that they get what they need. And then the last thing that might help make us lead to burnout is career pressures. Listen, all of us want to be boss women, whether we are working a 9 to 5 or whether we are bossing it up with our own business. As an entrepreneur who's looking to grow and scale, we all have the pressures of careers around us, especially if you're over 40 and you're trying to build legacy wealth for yourself and your family. You want to make sure that you're not engaging in any negative workplace activities, or that you make sure that you are not putting so much effort into trying to maintain career growth that can be completely demanding, but that you are understanding specifically how these things lead to your legacy and if they are worth it and how to navigate these things. All right. Now, let's really quickly, before I close out, let's shift our focus on some practical ways to make sure that we combat the burnout. The first thing is always going to be self care rituals. Those non negotiables, having a bath every Friday night for me instead of going on a date or going to a show. Most Friday nights, I am soaking in the tub in a detox bath, making sure that I cleanse my mind, my body, and my soul. It is non negotiable. It is on my calendar. And unless someone's coming to town that is never coming back again, or it is something that I have to absolutely have to get out and see or be a part of, I am at home Friday nights in my tub. And so you've got to decide what your non negotiables are and how you make them part of your life. The other thing that you want to do is set boundaries. You want to learn to say no. You want to make no a complete sentence and establish these clear boundaries in your personal and your professional life. And you want to put certain people on notice. If you've been a serial people pleaser, sometimes saying no can come with a lot of backlash. And so you want to make sure that people are properly informed. Hey, I'm at my bandwidth on this. Unfortunately, I won't be able to continue to contribute to this in the way that I have been. Going forward, here's what is going to make sense for me. So you want to make sure that you say something kind of in this tone of voice or in this way so that people understand that yes, it's been great. You've had fun helping, but now you're pulling away to preserve your bandwidth and pour more energy back into yourself. The next thing you want to do is seek support, right? Whether you're a caregiver, a career woman, a boss mom, a full-time entrepreneur, you want to make sure that you get the support of the people around you in the form of community and in the form of learning as well. Because the more we know, the less we burn out. We want to make sure that we're getting all of the support we need in the way that makes sense for us. And the last thing I want you to do is reevaluate your priorities. Make sure that your priorities, while you're making a difference and a dollar for yourself, that you are also preserving your health, that you are also preserving your wellness, and that you are at the top of your to-do list. Listen, I hope you got something amazing out of this video. If you haven't already yet, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Click like on this video. You can go ahead and do that now. And then you want to make sure you subscribe and comment, kind of something like this.